Hello, everybody. This is Willie Sublett III, founder of RightTouch Solutions, and welcome back to the RightTouch Rundown, your weekly dose of operational strategy and what? Nonprofit clarity. We have had a busy 3 weeks, friends, but we've been building something together. There was a quick dive into the difference between outcome and output. Then we discussed a simple way to actually track that outcome with a logic model. Last week, we learned how to turn that data into a story that moves your board, your community, your donors, and everybody involved. Whew, we've been through it this month, and we've been doing it though. So, here's the last question of the series. Thank you all who submitted these, and I put them all together. I greatly appreciate when y'all send me stuff. What do you actually do with it after the meeting ends? What am I supposed to do with this data? I made the logic model, I made the story, and now what? That's the piece we haven't talked about yet. So good thing you're here today. That outcome data we made, mapped through the logic model, turned into a story for your board equals what? Evaluation data. And that's the honest truth is what do people do with evaluation data? They usually defend what already happened. The annual report, renewing a contract, proof that last year went fine. Now, none of those are wrong, just a little bit incomplete. Because if the only job for your data is to defend the past, then it's not actually running your organization, huh? It's just decorating. Evaluation should shape what you're doing next year, not defend what happened last year. Let that sit with you. Now, I worked with an organization running a nonprofit mentoring program for the youth. They've been steady for years. I'm talking good enrollment, good satisfaction surveys from the parents too, because we all know parents don't be doing right. Funders were happy. The community was excited. Different companies were coming in. Then a random mid-year check from their program manager looking at the outcome data showed something that they were not prepared to see. Some kids in one specific track or group, however they grouped them, I can't remember, were not shown gaining those confidence metrics that the program was built to produce. Everything else still looked fine. Remember, they had good enrollment. The parents are happy. People giving them money happy. The community is happy. But that one number, though, it would have been real easy for the director just to wait this out, right? Let the annual report come in, smooth it over with all those extra stuff. Hope next quarter, Q3, Q4 looks much better. But instead, the program director took it straight to the leadership. I'm talking to the board level before it ever hit a report because they were doing a mid-year check. It wasn't to apologize, try to find excuses for it. What they wanted to know is, what are we going to do about this? I read the report a couple times. This is not right. Got to do something. Willie, what did they do? So happy you asked. I knew this would grab your attention. What they did was, friends, they restructured that one track mid-year. AKA they acted immediately. They paired kids with mentors differently. So by the end of the year, the number had turned it around. And more importantly, the team had proven to themselves that the data that they were collecting and talking about all the time was not just something to be reported on, it was something they intentionally acted on. Who I'm proud of. But that's the meeting nobody wants to have. The one where you bring the bad news before the big board or before your own boss. Sometimes you don't even want to tell your friends bad news. But that is exactly the type of meeting that separates a group of people trying to do, good work in the community from a strong, centralized organization moving toward a future goal. One with a board that takes diligence seriously and uses its data appropriately. That director did not wait for the annual report again to tell her what to do. They used the number in real time to change what was actually happening for the kids that they were committed to serve. Now, if this resonates with you, you ever had a set number that you tried to reach and something needed to change and reported it anyway without changing anything, go ahead and hit subscribe. Because building a team that isn't afraid of that moment is exactly what we're going to get into. How do you build a culture where bad results don't get buried? Let's just be honest, friends. Teams are not hiding bad data because they are dishonest crooks trying to skirt the system. They hide it because somewhere along the line, a number that showed a problem got treated like a personal failure, and they felt attacked instead of just information. If you have a team that believes a disappointing result reflects badly on them personally, individually, they will find a way to stop looking closely enough for anybody to find it. Because who wants to be attacked? Who wants to feel bad when you're doing your best? They also may not know what to do with the numbers. They just look at the report or they see that it doesn't look right, but the next step eludes them. So they move forward with something else. Let's just focus over here. I don't know what that means. It looks bad. We'll get to it, but let's focus over here. Stop that in its tracks. The fix, just like all the other things we've talked about this month, friends, is not complicated and it can be done drama-free. We all need a drama-free life. Life is life and what? Enough. When a number comes back rough, the very next question out of your leader's mouth, whether it's yourself or the others at the table, has to be, okay, team, what do we do differently? We're not going to be talking about, well, whose fault is this? How do we let this happen? Again, okay, team, let's bring it all, everybody together with that one. What do we do differently? Notice, team, we. You bring the team together, what are we all doing differently? Say that enough times that it becomes consistent in your spirit. And your team starts bringing you the numbers that matter instead of only the ones that look good because it makes them look good. It also will give them permission to bring you things that don't look good or things they don't know yet, because the question isn't, why don't you fix this already? It's, let's figure this out together. Okay, we're a team. Let's do this together. We'll make it. So, let's let that data into the room where decisions get made. Listen, and listen. Hear me when I say, letting data into the room where it happens, quote little Hamilton for you, does not require an elaborate system. We've talked about this ad nauseum. We talked about it previously. I think I even talked about it last week. Do not jump straight to thinking you need fancy tech for every fix or every situation. For some organizations, this will take the shape of just a quick quarterly check-in. For others, it could be folded into the annual budget conversation. It could also be simple as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be complex, friends. Maybe it's a recurring line in the meeting agenda. What did the data tell us this time? Just keep that in every agenda. When you make a new agenda, make sure it's in there. That's it. What actually matters is that the data actually gets to the seat of the table. It needs to get talked about. It needs to be in the room. Then your board has a chance to decide what to fund, what to cut, what to do differently next year, instead of only showing up afterwards to explain what already happened. I can't do that about the past. It's already behind us. As Pumbaa and Timon says, you put your behind in your pants. I can't do nothing. That youth mentoring program did not need a system. They needed the habit of asking the question before the year ended, not after. And if you notice, they got on top of it. Woo! We have done it, friends. We did it. That was the whole series wrapped up, what? With a lovely bow. You must know and understand the difference between what you did and what changed. Again, you must know and understand the difference between what you did and what changed. Build a simple way to track it. Remember our cocktail napkin logic model. Turn it into a story people remember, it resonates, they can share. And then let it actually steer your next decision instead of defending that last one. That is what it means to measure what matters. Now, if you want to go back through the whole series, which is Measure What Matters, beginning at, I think it was episode 25, feel free. Or start anywhere you like. This is your YouTube channel. I cannot tell you what to do. I like to encourage you to do it and push that like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I thank you so much for tuning in with us today on the RightTouch Rundown. If this series changed how you think about the data sitting in your organization right now, as you get ready for a board meeting, I know you are, share it with the leader who needs to hear it. Don't you gatekeep. You know, I don't like that kind of mess. And remember, friends, mission moves best with structure. I'll catch you next week. Have a great one. Stay cool, because it's hot outside.